How are we? My name's Jeff. This is Finding My Why. Insert caption here. Oh. So today we're going to cover my beer hobby, which is the latest one. And at the end of this, I'm probably going to edit all the ums to the end, which last I checked, there was a lot. I think I got to 4 in the last video and got tired of it, to be honest. Again, typical ADHD. So today we're going to cover a bit about my beer stuff and where I started and why I started and where I'm at now. So first we're going to cover what's in the shed. That's just because that's where I am right now. My illustrious beer fridge I've got off Facebook Marketplace, thanks to that dude that sold me that. I had to downgrade size recently due to my last one dying, which was kind of probably a 420 litre or something. This is only a small one. So I am now struggling to fit my shed. The other day I had to amend a shelf because I had some bottle bombs go off, as you do. Only minor, just like kind of burst the bottom off it, but still not ideal for, well, my drinking of the beer, because that's less beer I have to drink. So I had to, and this was part of the reason I started this video, was the absolute die by focus, I suppose you could say. Like I was going to finish this, like I was absolutely focused on this thing that I was doing. Now I'll show you what it was. I'm doing the high technology of on my phone here. I've got a sports camera ordered. There's another one we can go into for another video, a video on how we make the videos and the obsession with that. So I had to amend this shelf. Now I had a plastic shelf in it about here ish, and then another one for your fruit and stuff down there where it normally goes. But the one that was here had a crack in it, and there's no way it was going to take the weight. It only had about 6 bottles on it, 6 long necks on it. There's no way it was going to take the weight of that many. What's in there now? 3, 6, 9, about a dozen bottles. Could fit probably 2 or 3 more. So I made it out of this, and as you can see, I've kind of just braced it across the top, bottom, front to back on the top, and just traced it off the old shelf really, which is currently in the bin out the front of the shed. Yeah, so I had to then make a new shelf. Now I had some fence palings laying around, which I don't have heaps of timber laying around, like that's not kind of the stuff that I keep, but I kept this because we've got a paling fence, and B, I actually found it quite handy to make shit out of. Yeah, so that was because I had to stop it all fermenting. I took it out too early. The hydrometer and the wrapped pill said it was at 1016 gravity, so I was like, that's where it was at, it's where I needed to be according to the recipe. Nope. Put a little bit too much sugar in it for the carbonation. Every bottle has been a boy, as they say. So yeah, I usually, in my old fridge, it was big enough I could put a fermenter in there. Now that is not going to help a fermenter and keep my beer cold. That's going to be frustrating when the time comes, because I plan on doing a KB lager clone for my old boy. He's what, 77 or something like that. And growing up, I always remember him drinking KB lager by tooths initially. I don't remember that because I'm not that old, but also then by Carlton United Breweries in a gold can, red letters, insert picture here somewhere if I have the ability to do that. And so I'm gonna give it a crack on, give a crack? Can you give a crack? I don't know. I'm gonna give it a go to make a clone of that. Now, as you'll see when we go through the gear out the back, I'm not at an all-in-one vessel phase thing like a brew master or, oh, I was just drawing a blank. I don't have an all-in-one system. I don't have a Brazilla or a Grainfather or anything like that. I'd love one. If anyone wants to give me one, used or new, I don't care. Hit me in the comments, as they say. So I'm doing a brew in a bag in a pot that's not even quite full volume at this point. But the plan is to give that a go. Now, lagering can take a long time, and I'm super impatient, as part of this is all tied into. I'm super impatient, so I'm not sure how I'm going to go waiting for that to lager and ferment. And well, ferment I can handle, but lager for weeks and weeks and weeks. You get the point. So that's the plan, but I'm not sure my ferment is going to fit in there at all. let alone with beer in there. Let's find out, shall we? Allow me to find my tape measure. Talk about getting sidetracked doing stuff. ADHD focus, go on. Right, so here's my fermenter I normally use, because the other one I've got is one of the new Cooper's ones, and it's pretty shit, to be honest. So let's go, call it 52 millimeters, 520 mil. Now, so there's a shelf, or what needs to be a shelf about there, because that's the condenser and all the stuff in the back. Now, that gap there is not going to be wide enough to fit the fermenter, unfortunately. So, from the top, I reckon we might be okay. Let's go to that shelf there. 58 centimeters, 60 mil clearance on the top. Won't be able to use an airlock, but I will be able to put a blow-off tube in the top. For the uneducated, that's me as well. So blow-off tube is, instead of having an airlock in the, which is about that big little S-band, you put some sanitizer in so bugs and shit doesn't get in. That's, you put a tube in the airlock hole that's on top of the fermenter. You want to send a little black ring. Feel free to insert pics here by me. I'll do that, don't worry about it. Yeah, you put a tube in that and then put the tube in a beer bottle with sanitizer and stuff. So at least that'll fit. That makes me happy. I figured out, just realised making this video that there was an issue it might not fit, but B, we solved a problem here, or avoided one anyway. So what we'll do now, we'll head out and check out the gear. I'll tell you what I got originally. Have a look at what else I've managed to procure. Yeah, there's been the odd bit of gear or two, be it Facebook or brand new. We'll see soon. Alright, here we are at my brew cupboard. It's a bit of a shit fight, but depending on how my brain is how I do it. Excuse my audio, there's sirens going off and my wife is on the phone upstairs, which is rare for her because she hates talking on the phone, but it's about netball, so that's always going to happen. A few things I managed to get with the first lot. So I originally, that fermenter was the second one I got. A mate gave me that. Shout out to Chappie, legend. I've got one out there which is one of the new Cooper's ones. I don't really like it because it doesn't have an airlock. It's got that slidey lid that does its airlock itself, so you can't really tell if it's bubbling or not. So I don't use it anymore. I use it for secondary or racking. So I initially got a fermenter that's out there, and there was about 2 dozen, maybe 2.5 dozen of these, 15 of these. I managed to come across about 6 or 8 more of these from a mate from the brew club, and then I bought another packet of these from Big W recently. These are becoming frustrating because I'm now starting to lose a few from bottle bombs. That's my fault, obviously. I have bought, though, up there's a champagne bottle, and I plan on moving to bottle capping with champagne bottles because they can take a higher pressure. Now, I've got the capper, but I need there's an adjustment thing that goes on the top because the caps are wider on bottles. I did manage for Christmas to kind of buy some 500ml bottles to replace some of the ones I lost, and also, oh damn, I had to drink the beer that was in them. So yeah, I did have that. I did come across a few of these here and there. Like I got that it was like on special from Kegland. Shout out to Kegland a while ago. A cold crash cube. That one was on Facebook for nothing. That one I bought from the brew shop, and I got that down there. It's like a water filtration bottles. I've been doing cider in it, so that hasn't happened for a while though because I'm too impatient yet again. So since then I have bought some more tubing and whatnot, a grinder, a mill for the milling the grain. That's obviously the top for that. A few other things here and there. I bought a wrapped pill a while ago. That's been pretty handy. And yeah, I got with the mill. That's a pH meter. I dabbled on that for one batch. It actually worked out really well, so I need to probably keep doing that. And I've got a tilt, what do you call it? That thing that measures your bloody fermentation, but through a sight glass. Holy hell, I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, so that's my cupboard. There's a few like odds and sods. Just got bulk rags and some rocks that I use. So yeah, that's kind of me. I've got some grain in this bad boy here that we did in a bulk buy. It's a pretty good grain actually. Funny story behind actually the first brew I made out of that, I had the wrong grain. Oh, there's my fermenter. So this was a 19 litre pot from Big W. I don't know whether you want to see my face or not, so I turn the camera around. Yeah, so I got the pot from Big W. It was like $20, 19 litre. So that's the downside I was saying before. It doesn't come on the, I can't yet do a full batch. Then I added a ball valve and a temp gauge, ball valve has been very handy. And also, obviously, the temp gauge has as well. The downside of that is it's upside down because that's the position I got it in when I sealed it. Oh, do you just? That's my daughter. She helps me brew, actually. She's relatively well, enjoys it. So yeah, and I even got a gas thing down there. What do you call it? Burner. Ash from the brew club. Shout out to Ash. Same guy that gave me the bottles, actually. He sold me for like $10. He had it sitting around doing nothing. He's got a sweet Nano X3 3-tier system. He's got a fucking sweet whole setup at his house, to be honest. Shout out to Ash at the brew club. But yeah, I've got a couple of buckets up there that I use for washing and cleaning stuff. But yeah, I usually store all my shit there and then brew on this table here. It's obviously not dirty as fuck, usually. This was an interesting addition, right? And this is probably when I was at the peak of my hyper focus on brewing. For the brewers out there watching, or maybe none of you, or the tens of people I've had view all of my videos so far, the Esky was in an attempt to make a mash tun. Now, it works, but the tap, I had to retrofit the tap a little bit because it's got you can see it's got a bigger fitting than the 15mm BSP. So I had to do some creative engineering and it worked well. I put some filler in it and drilled it out and it actually held really well. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. The downside is I haven't yet had a decent way to channel the wort through the tube. Now I've seen a heap of them on here and online and stuff on how to make them. I made one. It didn't work quite as well as I'd hoped. The next version that I want to do is from a flex hose that kind of provides water to your sink and stuff. You take the tube out the center and then crimp the ends. So I'm going to give that one a go, I think. But the downside to it, and I'll show you what it is. This is actually what I kept my beer in the other day, and so if the bottle bombs go off, which it did, it's all contained. I might not even be a pretty face, but I feel like I'm pretty smart at sometimes. So I'll show you. Let me just put you in here. So you can see here, there's a gap there between the floor and the outlet valve. Now the downside to that is that means there's a lot of wastage in the bottom. Now this was a rapid acquisition off Facebook. Like I get kind of, as I've said, focused on doing shit, and I just kind of go, yep, I'll take that one. It was the best size. It was the best size for the money. That is probably the biggest downfall of it, is the ability to have so much dead space. There's a lot of others that have a lot more, like the exit valve is almost flush with the bottom of the Esky, or cooler, whatever you want to call it. So that's the downfall of that. I've used it twice. Once I just put the grain straight in there. The second time I used it with two bags, 2 brew in a bag bags. That was probably better. Still a bit of a pain in the ass though. But after all that issue there, I didn't have the knowledge to do 3-tier systems, and I don't have the space either. You know, recirculation and whatnot, especially when you're using gas and a mash tun. You then have to, and I did dump it I dumped a portion of it twice, so I guess not a decoction, but I decanted some of the wort into the brew kettle, boiled it and put it back in, and that kind of kept the temperature around where I wanted it relatively well for the whole mash hour. I think I mashed for an hour that day, actually. Yeah, so that's my brew gear at this point. Yeah, so that's about it. Probably go into more depth on some stuff, but that's probably more of a beer brewing video than the gear that I have. Having said that, I'd be interested to see how many ums I made in this video. I will dump them all at the end, and it will be a bit of an umathon. If I find out how to export small clips from a video when I edit it, I will do that and just make a whole video on my ums. So, if you like it, if you even see it, just let me know. I know the videos I've put out and the shorts and stuff, I've had all of 33 people view them, which I'm not expecting millions of people, because I'm, you know, in the wide world web, I'm a nobody, and I'm not expecting everyone to see this straight away because I don't know anything about the algorithms either. So, but yeah, if you see this, you get this far, feel free to comment, even tell me where you're from in the comments. That'd be great. Yeah, hopefully this will give you an insight as to how my brain works when I impart on a hobby. This one's still going though, so, and also I like drinking beer, which doesn't help, or it does help. It helps me stay in the hobby. But yeah, so that's me. That's we'll see how this editing goes. I'm not great at it. It takes me ages, but so we'll see how we go. Peace. Whatever people say now at the end of a video. But yeah, don't be scared to like, subscribe. Still no subscribers yet, so feel free to be my first. It's been a long time since I've had a first of anything, really. Yeah, so if you want to, like, subscribe, comment, tell me where you're from, tell me what I could do better. Like I said, I've got an action camera coming, so hopefully I can put it on a tripod and not have to move my phone and all that sort of shit soon. Then yeah, catch you later.